We have easy. I saw that slip. Come on, Steve. Guess we have some solar heating today. We're gonna need it. There he goes. All right, Steve's back. Actually, Steve never left. We were the ones that left. We are back. Hi, T-Rex. Good morning. You ready? Always ready. Doesn't care what door, but this door is special. This is the only door he goes out charging like that. 47 degrees on the outdoors, 58 indoors. We did not turn the heat on here yet. My wife's being a little hesitant. Can we wait at least till October 15th at 10:14 a.m. Tuesday morning? It's brisk and bright. And thankfully we had Steve and Mitt and T-Rex to help keep us warm with extra blankets last night. I think this image from 207_tuna, Sao Po, meaning Portland, Maine weather. Thank you for sharing your frozen strawberry. Guess it's the end of the growing season. See what happened late yesterday. As the sky started to clear up, we had some radiational cooling, so everything that was wet kind of froze. It wasn't like a frosty night. It was windy last night. So if you had a little ice on your car or your yard, it was left over from the rain that did not evaporate. The wet surfaces froze. So that's what happened. Same thing with Pete in Lancaster, Massachusetts this morning. Yesterday had some rainbows as the sky was clearing, so that's your radiational cooling. And it was still raining, so that explains a lot of the ice. Thank you, Dave Hayes, from, where was it? Can't remember, Hatfield maybe? The rainbows coming in last night. And also pictures of the comet. Bob Maxson, his viewers there in Connecticut, Old Saybrook, showing the view of the comet last night. And I also have some views of people in the snow this morning, but why don't I do something a little different? As it's so cold right now, I want to show you first the 15-day forecast for Boston. Here we are in the chill, and I always talk about how everything works in waves. So we are in the base of a cold wave today and tomorrow, the second one in a week. And then look what happens gradually. Late in the week, we're back in the 60s. And then into the weekend, we're in the 70s. And we ride that crest of nice October weather back into next week. And then it starts to cool off a little bit again as we get towards the fourth week of October. So things are moving along pretty much on schedule. How much snow did we get? Well, I think this image from Sugarloaf again today, because they have a drone, and shows the elevation dependency on the snow. And I think a lot of that Sugarloaf snow came in as the storm began on Sunday on the front side. It was a complicated system. There were two low pressure systems, and each low has counterclockwise circulation, so that kind of negates one another. And there have been some funky changes to the temperature and with elevation. Let's go to Mount Washington data this morning. It was just below 20. We hit 19 degrees in the cold last night, and that is the coldest since 12 degrees back on April 26th. So it's the first sub 20 degree day with another 2.7 inches of snow. So we get to about 5 inches so far this week, 5 inches last week. So we're running about 10 inches of snow. And the founding day celebration for Mount Washington was supposed to be at the summit today, but they relocated to North Conway, to their office in North Conway. All right, gonna brave this wind a little bit. Come out here and secure Steve so we don't lose the cat. Put him on his little holder there, and we see some altocumulus clouds coming at us. So there's a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and you have very cold air up in the sky, and the sun is out warming up the lower elevations, and that's going to be instability. I call it low barometer cold, and there are going to be a lot of clouds and some specks of rain or elevation snow over the next 2 days. So this is day 3 of what's really a 4-day event, although day 5, Thursday, is starting to look more interesting. There are your altocumulus clouds offshore, and so just pulses of energy, surface low pressure systems or surface troughs coming underneath a broad upper level low. That upper level low, the heart of the cold, is missing us to the west. Here's the surface map from this morning. It is about a 990 low, and it's just a little bit east of north of Caribou, Maine, which is a big difference. If it was west of north of Caribou, Maine, looping toward the west, it would be a different story, and maybe some of those GFS snowfall amounts from last week would be verifying in the 10 to 15 inch range, but that's not happening because this low is further east, and the heart of the upper level low is off to the west, and there's a 1035 high pressure system underneath that upper level low. So that's incongruous. That's very cold and unstable. And for that reason, as Caitlin shows us this morning, there are thunderstorms coming off Lake Michigan. Lake effect thunderstorms. They have both a high barometer and an upper level low. And so it's an exciting morning on the shores of the Great Lakes. And as I talked about last week in this forecast, we couldn't focus the energy. The upper level low was so wide, and it opens up into a trough, and we'll look at that in a few minutes. First, I do want to show the ground truth on the snowfall at Jay Peak. Sean, Vec, and Josh Worth hiking this morning, reporting nothing below 2,000 feet. It melted, the snow that fell below 2,000 feet, but up here around 3,600 feet, 6 inches of good base material. So our New England ski season has begun. Sean sent me that picture. I said, I would say that's Josh, except for the pink hat. And then they laughed, and Josh showed me the pink hat. He says, show the pink hat to Steve. It's my cat snow hat. And Steve, do you like that hat? Want me to get one like that? We can wear it together and out the door? Josh, where do I get a hat like that? Cat hat. Not a cat in a hat, a cat hat. All right, so what is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure. The high is off to our west, low is to our north. Air spins because the earth is spinning, so that's where we get our northwest wind. And it's going to pulse a lot like it did last week. You get 1 hour or two where it's not that windy, and then all of a sudden it's very windy again with a scattered shower of rain or snow. If we go to the HRRR and try and see where and when it may rain or snow again, there it is this morning. Nothing going on, really. There's some light upper elevation snow happening right now, but then you do get some snow showers coming in. The black lines are the isobars, and the blue lines are the thicknesses, and then there's a little pulse, but nothing organized, just these scattered rain and elevation snow showers tonight. And then tomorrow, the blue lines start to fade, and the red lines start to come in from the west and southwest. That's warmer air aloft. That's going to stabilize our atmosphere, and our showers are going to turn off. But there may be an ocean storm forming. Let's go to the Euro, as we do. It did a pretty good job so far with this, right? And there have been some fairly significant changes to the output for the next several days. So here we'll put it in motion. Where our low pressure system to the north of New England is kind of wobbling and moving out, and our upper level trough, the blue lines is vast, but the cold core of this is missing us to the west and south. And so much so, if we stop it on Thursday morning, the last of the upper level low, the blue circle there, over eastern North Carolina, so the air aloft in the entire eastern United States is coldest over eastern North Carolina, and there's a low pressure system forming out over the ocean, and that's not that far away. So yesterday we talked about this was south and east of Nantucket. Now it's just off the coast of North Carolina, and you have 1,000 millibar low and still a strong 30 somewhere in there millibar high to its west. And so it's going to be windy, and that's a potential nor'easter type situation, or at least the look and feel for the Delmarva, Chesapeake Bay area, southern New Jersey, and potential surf building for New England. Love if surf and ski season overlap this week. That's fun. And now if we put that back in motion, that low to the south of New England looks like it's going to stay out over the ocean. And you have the warmth, the red lines increasing over the Great Lakes coming into New England. So we are going to have warmer, drier, beautiful weather coming in from southeastern Canada. But with that low still lurking offshore, it could be much cooler at the coast, a sea breeze type situation. And this, again, is going to be now a moving target. An ocean storm late in the week goes away. High pressure takes over. Now we're into the weekend, and that next front that we were talking about that a couple days ago looked like it was going to get here on Monday is just hanging out in Canada. The storm track is going to be coming in to the Rockies. It's going to turn snowy and colder. In the west, we'll see images of people opening up ski areas like Loveland, Colorado, with that trough moving into the west and a ridge in the east, and the storms going across Canada until about the middle of next week. Now the front's pressing back down to the south as we get out to let's see, Monday the 21st, Tuesday 22nd, Wednesday the 23rd, Wednesday night into Thursday. Now we have the low to our north looking fairly similar to how it did yesterday, but the front dragging its heels a little bit, and that's kind of how it usually works. And so the next injection of cold air in the northeast probably comes about next Thursday or Friday. And the storm to the east of North Carolina at that point, out over the ocean, perhaps tropical storm or Hurricane Nadine. So the end storm is still possible, and if it happens, the guidance is fairly bullish on it missing mostly north of the Caribbean and east of the Bahamas, but it's going to be a close call. National Hurricane Center says they've increased it to maybe a 20% chance of development over the next 48 hours, and still maintaining about a 40% probability of development within 7 days. So the end storm could still be out there. So the heat did not get turned on inside this house yet, and we've got the good solar heating, and we'll see how long we can last with that. So that's the end of the weather forecast. Now for the in more from yesterday on Cape Cod. Definitely overachieving in the rainfall department. We got more than a quarter inch in spots with 4 rounds of showers and storms. I went out and talked about how the differential advection with the cold air near the ground was being overrun by the warm air up in the sky, something I didn't really talk about much during the storm, but I kind of mentioned it, but without stating it. I can't think of the right word. All right, break.
Right over Albany
We've
right
got
now.
something. The bee's hanging on. Look, he's just barely moving. So it's going to be okay. The sun on the other side of the yard, if you just head over to the other side of the yard, and the rainfall total here at my house in Weymouth is 0.22, and that's about the same we got last week, 0.22. So we're at 0.44, and everything's all wet, and we still have tomatoes. My garden's going to hang on for a while because I'm by the ocean, and it doesn't cool off fast by the ocean. So here's the Enmore. Yesterday we ride back, and thought we might be able to see a rainbow. We were chasing the sunset, and just missed it, and we're really pretty, and then the traffic waves, and then let's see, did I make more videos with Steve? I don't recall, but it was a really fun football game last night. So weather and sports and all action packed, calling the play-by-play. And look at these roses. You think this rose right here will bloom in that nice weather next week? I think it might. I think I might have roses heading in towards Halloween. Come on, focus, Tim. I want to say goodbye. What? You won't focus? Come on, focus, please. All right, that's me. Lack of focus. Using the iPhone microphone because the lavaliers just won't work. IT issues. TK with IT issues. Now Steve won't even look at me. All right, here's the Enmore from yesterday. Steve. It never slows down. I just finished editing and just uploading now, and T-Rex is like, are we going to go out again? It's been too long. You like the rain? On Cape Cod, we're on the warm side of the front, but it's raining. And it's snowing in Vermont. One of the dynamics that's so interesting is how the air at the bottom couple thousand feet of the atmosphere all night last night, well, it's now 2 nights ago, was from the northeast, while over the top of it was from the southwest. Cold air is more dense than warm, so that cold that came in on Friday was overrun by the warmth that came in on Saturday night and Sunday, and that's called overrunning. Differential advection, cool air near the ground, warm air up in the sky. But on Cape Cod, we got to the south of the front, so all levels of the atmosphere, the air was coming from the southwest, and that's why we're in the 60s while it's snowing in the mountains of Vermont right now, where the air down near the ground is coming from the northeast and the air up in the sky is coming from the southwest. Density. Wow, that was loud, huh, Rex? That's a blue jay that's happy to see you. If not. Blue jay's not squawking at us, it's squawking at something else up there. Can't really feel them because we're underneath the leaves, but we can hear them. Raindrops are coming. I think this could be the real cold front, bringing the the cold down to Cape Cod, where it's been calm, even though we're surrounded to the north and west with strong wind. The wind is about to start mixing down here. So it's been a fascinating event, and we're not done. Professionals mow in the rain. Oh, it's just past rain. Let's go see if we can find a horse. Turkey food, human food, rabbit food. Peaches has some hay. Yep. Looks like you've done that before.
He doesn't like the celery.
Oh, he doesn't? Well, I'll take it. I like it. I'll eat it.
Okay, Peaches. Bye. Nice seeing you. You take care.
Hi.
I think it's too much to give her already.
Do you not like celery? All right. Talk to you later. Wiping your feet before you go in? Good thinking. All right, we're checking out the Bass River House. Headed back to the Four River House. Still not much wind, still fairly mild. At the same time, Lincoln in the Adirondacks has 6 inches of snow up near the summit of Whiteface. And Berks WX says it's hailing in Berkshire County, Massachusetts, where the center of the storm is going right over Albany right now. And the wind has been picking up. We've been hearing from our viewers from Pennsylvania to Long Island, says the wind is whipping. It's actually 70 degrees on Long Island. The sun is out in Worcester as we have Fropa and cyclogenesis, frontal passage, and new cyclone intensifying on the coast of Maine. Let's chase. See Peaches again maybe next week. So chasing towards the center, see if we see some sunshine and slight chance of a rainbow, but I'd have to pull off. And I don't know. Rex doesn't really like to ride. So the sooner do we get on Route 6, going over Bass River, that we can see the clearing. So chasing to the, not eye, but dry spots. See you later, Bass River. It's gonna be good. We get some stratocumulus that's just doing a solar block on us here. Altocumulus and way on the horizon, you can't see them, are the cumulonimbus. It's 58 degrees now, it's not moving yet, but the air is starting to move, and as I turn from headed west, headed north, we'll probably lose the opportunity to get some sunshine. My 1,000,000th time over the Sagamore Bridge at about sunset. But I've only made videos of it 100,000 times. I have wheel in my hand and my eyes forward. There it is, almost. There it is, in the trees. It's like I'm racing the cloud. Score. Right over the indigenous people totem pole. Plymouth. Patuxet Plantation Town. Oh, no such thing as a plantation. It's called Patuxet. So So it's not an eye, it's a dry slot. And maybe I was right a few days ago when I said there's an occlusion because it's stable air right here. That's why it's clear. And then way up there on the horizon, there's some cumulus. That's instability. That's really 55 degrees, totally clear in Norwell. How did that happen? Briefly stable atmosphere, a dry slot, the center of the upper level, cold pool. Old low decaying over probably southern Vermont, and the new low taking over on the Maine coast with subsidence right here. Not an eye, but brief stability before we get to the instability and those big cumulus clouds way out there on the horizon, which may come through. It's still another shower for us, but not going to make a rainbow because the sun's going over the horizon before 6 o'clock, at least right here in this major Norwell classic traffic wave. A lot of orange today on the trees and the sky. Well, on the ride home, that is. Before that, it was all gray. Probably a record for me in this year to have 4 different thunderstorms over Cape Cod. All right, this will probably do for today, right? Show some time lapse of maybe Dennis and Weymouth. I almost said Situate. This is where I used to live. Keep going, Tim. We're going to Weymouth. T-Rex. Not liking to ride, but you'll be happy in a few minutes. All right, talk to you later. Yeah, right. Like I'm done. No. Now I'm done.